Hollywood used to be about storytelling, about magic, wonder, and timeless classics. But now it's all about pushing an agenda. And the latest victim, Snow White. A timeless classic now reimagined into something completely unrecognizable and completely destroyed by woke Hollywood actress Rachel Zegler.
The original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so. There's a big focus on her love story. With a guy who literally stalks her. Weird.
And to everyone who hates when I win, that at every premiere and everything I do, people will wait in line to see.
Instead of honoring the role and history of Snow White, she trashed the original story, mocked the romance between Snow White and her prince, and turned her personal opinions into Hollywood's latest disaster.
Why they not like Snow White? The reason why is that the actress that plays Snow White, she acts like a bitch all the time.
I'm a narcissist. The original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so.
Okay.
There's a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her. Weird. People will assume is a love story just because, like, we cast a guy in the movie, Andrew Burnap. All of Andrew's scenes could get cut. Who knows? It's Hollywood, baby. We absolutely wrote a Snow White that is
not going to be saved by the prince.
She's not going to be saved by the prince, and she's not going to be dreaming about true love. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be.
I just don't understand how your story about feminist empowerment is everything was great when a man was controlling the kingdom. A woman takes over, the kingdom goes to shit. She kicks out the younger woman because she's jealous about it. And then the younger woman goes to another man's house and cleans up all their houses. And this is the story about feminist empowerment? It's like some kind of sick joke.
Audiences aren't buying it, and the numbers speak for themselves.
We just got out of a screening of Snow White, and it's not good.
It's bad.
The Snow White live-action remake was, without a doubt, one of the worst ideas in the whole history of entertainment.
When you strip away the heart of the story and insult the fans, it's no surprise that people stay home. Hollywood, take note. We don't want politics in our fairy tales. We just want the magic back. Like so many others, I grew up watching Disney movies. As a little girl, I was captivated by the magic of Disney princess films. All those classic stories where the heroine embarks on a journey, faces challenges, and ultimately finds love. These movies weren't just about being rescued. They were about adventure, growth, and yes, romance. Take The Little Mermaid, for example. Ariel had Prince Eric, and Cinderella had Prince Charming. And of course, nearly every Disney princess had their prince. Even, guess what? Snow White, which was Disney's very first princess. She had Prince Florian. Though his screen time in the original from 1937 was kind of minimal, his role was still pivotal. After all, it was his kiss that awakened Snow White and brought her back to life. But here's the thing, these princesses weren't just sitting around waiting to be rescued. They played active roles in their own story. They made choices, they took risks, and yes, sometimes love was part of that journey. Now fast forward to today, and for some reason, Hollywood has decided to twist these beloved classics into something unrecognizable. Rather than honoring their legacy, modern adaptations seem more focused on pushing an agenda than telling a compelling story. Take this recent Snow White remake, for example. A film that should have been celebrated as some of Disney's history instead became a cautionary tale. Proof that when you inject politics into timeless stories, the result is nothing short of a box office disaster. And why? Because they completely missed the point. Instead of celebrating Snow White's charm, innocence, and resilience, they turned her into a hardened, independent figure who apparently doesn't need a man. But here's the thing, none of these princesses needed their prince. They wanted them. They chose them. Their stories were about love, not dependency. And yet, thanks to woke Hollywood and an actress who seemingly went out of her way to insult the very film she was starring in, it's no surprise that the audience stayed away in massive numbers. Maybe, just maybe, the lesson here is simple. If you want to remake a classic, respect what made it a classic in the first place. Otherwise, don't be surprised when people stop showing up, which no one did. Snow White has been a complete flop, making only $48 million on its opening weekend. And before you say $48 million is a lot, maybe for a low budget film, but this one was very far from a low budget film. It cost a whopping $240 million to make it.
This remake is reportedly to have cost more than $200 million.
Ouch. So what exactly went wrong with this live action action adaptation of Snow White? Well, for starters, a lot of the blame falls on the film's lead actress, Rachel Zegler. Instead of honoring this classic story, she took every opportunity to trash it. All that despite starring in it. In multiple interviews, Zegler criticized the beloved 1937 film, which was Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. She even called it outdated by saying, "The original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so. There's a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her. Weird. Weird. So we didn't do that this time." Naturally, fans were outraged. Calling the original Snow White weird felt like a slap in the face to those who grew up loving it. But oddly, Zegler didn't stop there. She went on to push a modernized version of the character, proudly proclaiming she's not going to be saved by the prince, and she's not going to be dreaming about true love. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be. It's clear that she completely missed the point of these classic fairy tales. The romance isn't just a subplot, it's really the heart of the story. Maybe Hollywood thinks love is outdated, but there are still plenty of people who dream of finding their prince, or being that princess who fights for true love. And if alienating Disney fans wasn't enough, Zegler actually went a step further. She attacked an entire political group. In November of 2024, she made a post on Instagram that stated, "May Trump supporters and Trump voters and Trump himself never know peace." Many people saw this as a direct threat, and rightfully so. The backlash was swift and overwhelming, forcing Zegler to issue a public apology. But by then, the damage was already done. And at the end of the day, Snow White was supposed to be a tale of magic, love, and adventure, not a political battleground. And Hollywood is learning the hard way that audiences just aren't interested in watching their favorite stories get rewritten into something they can't recognize. Thus, this version of Snow White has been a complete failure. But really, what did Hollywood expect to happen when their lead actress dissed the film and offended multiple groups of people, and that all before this film even saw the light of day? The numbers don't lie. Disney's Snow White officially flopped at the box office. And honestly, are we even surprised? When the lead actress trashes the original film, disrespects its legacy, and alienates the audience, what did they expect? Fans wanted nostalgia, not a lecture. Turns out, rewriting a beloved fairy tale into a soulless, agenda-driven mess doesn't sell tickets. Who would have thought? Some stories should never be rewritten. Hollywood, take note. If you don't respect the story, don't expect the audience to show up. If you enjoyed this content, be sure to hit that like button, and don't forget to subscribe for more updates, news, and stories. But wait, there's more. Despite the complete flop that this film is, Zegler went onto her Instagram just a few hours ago and posted #1 movie in the world. Though she's technically correct, but there really isn't anything else out right now worth watching. So really, there's not any competition. Even Rotten Tomatoes gave this movie a score of 44%. But I guess in fairy tale land, anything is possible.